Let's take some time to talk about exercise. Yes, that evil, wonderful thing. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie. I'm a therapist on Long Island, New York that specializes in the treatment of eating disorders and body image issues. If that interests you, or just general mental health and well-being, please click the subscribe button down below. I also have an Instagram and a weekly blog that I keep up with that you can find the links to them in the description below. Too bad. Exercise is always viewed as the enemy. Exercise gets such a bad rap, and there's so many negative associations regarding exercise, especially in the eating disorder world. And what's really kind of counterintuitive about it is that if you go to a psychiatrist or a therapist for anything else other than an eating disorder, what happens is that a lot of times they'll recommend, if you're experiencing anxiety or depression, they'll recommend exercise as a means to helping improve those symptoms. And the thing is that there is a lot of research to show that it does truly help. I know that for myself, when I am exercising regularly, or I call it mindful movement, my anxiety level just stays very stagnant. I don't really feel super anxious because I do have anxiety too, but I know that when I am exercising, it truly does help to keep it more on a manageable level. Always my stress level stays managed, and it's something that's super helpful for me. So I know personally the benefits of mindful movement or exercise, however you want to talk about it. But we need to start to destigmatize it and talk about exercise as it pertains to someone who's struggling with an eating disorder, because it is very different for someone struggling with an eating disorder. We can't look at it the same as for someone not struggling. Let's start with this. Exercise doesn't have to be a form of punishment, which is so often is for so many people. It really should be an experience that you enjoy. It really should be an experience that you look forward to, that doesn't drain you, that energizes you, all of those types of things. And this is going to be in the form of mindful movement. I talked about this in another video all about mindful movement. I'll leave that link in the description below, and if this interests you, I would definitely suggest checking it out. But it's really just about finding some sort of way to move your body that feels amazing for you. It doesn't have to be going and killing yourself at the gym. It could be yoga, it could be Pilates, it could be running, it could be walking, it could be whatever the hell you want it to be. As long as it's something moving your body, that's all that matters. We also have to understand that this is something that actually is healthy for us and healthy for our bodies. Moving our bodies is a good thing. It's just that over time it's been really associated with such negative stigmas, and that's really a shame because it's taking away from the positive benefits that we can truly get from mindful movement and exercise. I do want to make a disclaimer. If you are at all struggling with an eating disorder, do not take this video as permission to go and start this whole exercise regimen or anything like that. That's not what this is about. And this is something that I would talk to. I hope that you're getting help and that you're seeing someone who specializes in the treatment of eating disorders, hopefully a therapist, hopefully a nutritionist, and hopefully a doctor. And that you should talk to either your nutritionist and or your doctor about starting anything, because there are times that you cannot really exercise in a healthy way, especially deep in your eating disorder. So that's something to just be aware of, and make sure they talk to them before doing anything with any type of movement. Now, for the people who are in recovery from an eating disorder for a while, or just struggle with how exercise is balanced in their life, this video is more for you. If you are a person who is very all or nothing with exercise, which is really one of the reasons, a major reason that exercise is viewed in such horrendous ways sometimes, it's because it's all or nothing. You feel that if you go into exercise that you have to give it your all, you have to be depleted of all energy by the end of it, and you have to basically kill yourself for it to be worth anything. On the other hand, because you probably have had that happen before, or you associate exercise with that you dig your feet in and you are totally not going to exercise or have any type of movement in your life. And again, that's just super all or nothing. And all or nothing is the enemy of eating disorders, or really anything for that matter. All or nothing thinking truly keeps us stuck. So let's start off by eliminating the all or nothing, and that's where mindful movement truly could come in, because it's something that's supposed to be enjoyable, and by being all or nothing about it, you're not going to actually be engaging in mindful movement. So again, check out that video. I did all about mindful movement on that. The second thing is that you need to be truly honest with yourself throughout this entire process. If you are starting to want to incorporate more exercise or mindful movement into your life, what I would really suggest is to keep track of it. I would certainly encourage you to keep a journal about everything that you're experiencing through the exercise or mindful movement, whatever you want to call it. I would keep a journal of what you're doing, how long you did it for, and that type of stuff, but also how do you feel physically, mentally, what were the thoughts that popped up, was there any type of disordered thoughts that popped up, because that's something that's going to be really telling. And I want you to keep that journal every single day, even when you're not exercising, hopefully every single day, because that's just not helpful at all anyway. Let's say there's a day that it just cannot fit into your schedule, that you cannot find a way to, have your yoga class or whatever. What you need to do is talk and be honest with yourself about what comes up. Put it all down in a journal. If you're saying, okay, that's totally cool, I'll just get to it tomorrow, then it sounds like it's been a pretty positive influence in your life, and it's pretty positive and balanced in your life. If you're starting to get all agitated, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to do a double class tomorrow, how am I going to miss this, how am I going to make up for it, that is an indicator that it is not so balanced in your life, and you need to talk to your therapist about it, of how to get it to be more of an enjoyable part of your life that fits into your life. So here are some tips though, if you are going to start any exercise or movement, or if you're currently just doing that. One, set a timer and make sure you're doing it the same amount of time every single day. Don't go over it just because you feel like you need to go harder tomorrow, because that's just going to be a snowball effect, and all of a sudden, before you know it, it's going to take you up your entire life. You just can't do that. So if you dedicated half an hour to some sort of movement every single day, stick with that every single day that you're doing it. Do not go over because you feel like you have to work harder. Which brings me to my next point. Don't feel like you have to work harder the next day. Just because maybe you had higher intensity one day doesn't mean that you should have to meet that or beat it the next day. And if you struggle with this, you certainly know what I mean. Do what you can and listen to your body. This brings me to number 3. This is seamlessly going together. Number 3, if you actually are going to a gym, because sometimes that is some people's enjoyment to go to a gym. And I know that on those machines, especially the cardio machines, or possibly only the cardio machines, they have this lovely calorie counter of how much calories you're losing, which is basically just, it's just not helpful in any way, shape, or form, or accurate, because one machine can tell you something very different than the other. It's really just not accurate whatsoever. So what I would suggest doing, if you can avoid looking at it, because it really will just start to make you obsessed with, oh wow, well in half an hour yesterday I only burned this amount of calories, but today I'm able to burn this much more, but the next day all of a sudden you're burning less, and that's just going to start making you crazy, really. So sometimes what I even would suggest is going to the gym with the Post-it. I know that sounds absolutely crazy, but some people do some crazy things out at the gym, so you'll just fit right in. Take a Post-it and put it right over that calorie counter. And that's it. I think I'm on number 4. I might have lost count. Number 4 is listen to your body. If there's a day that maybe you do half an hour typically, but there's a day that you're just not feeling it, don't do it. If it's a day that maybe 20 minutes into it, you're just feeling like, oh my gosh, I need a nap right now, stop. There's nothing wrong with doing that, and there's more power to you if you're truly able to listen to your body. Number 5 is not being all or nothing, and that's what I talked about earlier, truly making sure that you're finding a balance in all of this and being mindful about it. And number 6, be honest with yourself. Again, that's what I talked about earlier, but journal, be honest with your therapist, check in with yourself during the workout, and all of that's truly going to help you to incorporate exercise or mindful movement into your life, and for it to be a balanced, positive thing in your life. I hope you liked this video or found it helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below if you have any tips on how to incorporate mindful movement more into your life in a very balanced and positive way. You could click my face over here to subscribe to my channel, and I wish you having a balanced exercise life on your journey to finding your state of balance. Hope to see my next video.